Today's episode is for the first responders, for the firefighters who run toward the flames, for the dispatchers who carry the weight of every 911 call, for the cops who used to be the heroes but are now treated like enemies, for EMTs, medics, linemen, border patrol, ICE agents, and all those whose mental health gets buried beneath the uniform. This episode is for those that show up and hold it together, even when they're falling apart inside. Today's not about headlines. It's about the silence behind the sirens, the pain behind the uniform, the scars no one can see. Let's talk about the people who run into the fire, who show up when your life falls apart, the one who answers the call most people would run from. Firefighters, policemen, paramedics, EMTs, dispatchers. And let's be clear about something right up front. These are all blue-collar heroes. Just like the ones who swing hammers, weld steel, or drive rigs. These folks build safety. They protect lives. They are the heartbeat of the working class American. A national study done by Florida State University found that almost 50% of firefighters have thought about suicide at some point. 16%, 1 in 6, have attempted it. Think about that. 1 in 6 have attempted it. EMTs and paramedics, 37% have contemplated suicide. 6.6% have made an attempt. And dispatchers, they're absorbing trauma second by second, from screams to silence. Imagine hearing all those screams and then nothing but silence. Substance abuse. Studies show that 16 to 40% of first responders may be battling alcohol. Nearly 30% may be dealing with substance use disorder. Firefighters, some studies say nearly 29% are struggling. Police officers also face intense psychological and emotional pressure every single shift, from domestic calls to dangerous standoffs. And while fewer studies target them specifically, suicide and substance abuse are rising concerns in that community too. And when we're talking about silence and suffering, we have to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, not in war zones, but right here at home. Some first responders didn't make it back from the job. Some didn't make it back from what the job did to them. There are men and women who ran into burning buildings when everyone else was running out, who breathed in smoke, chemicals, and debris, and years later were given a death sentence in a form of cancer or lung disease. We don't talk about the firefighters, officers, and medics who were told they were heroes one day and forgotten the next. The ones who couldn't breathe, who couldn't heal, who couldn't get help because their scars, they weren't visible. They didn't hesitate, they didn't pause, they showed up. And we owe them more than a headline. We owe them remembrance. So to those who gave everything, we remember you, we honor you, and we speak your name. And we can't forget another group who often are ignored. Today they're not. Everybody's hearing about them today. Everybody knows about them today, but tomorrow people won't even remember. ICE agents and Border Patrol officers. They aren't the ones making the policies. They're the ones enforcing them. And while politicians debate and media spins, these men and women are out there doing jobs that most of us wouldn't last a week in. They're spit on, demonized, painted like villains. But they're people. People doing their duty. And while the headlines call them monsters, no one talks about the demons they might carry home at night. Border Patrol is the front line, keeping our country safe. ICE is the second wall, dealing with what slips through. The politics might be messy, but the people doing the job, they're out there holding the line. They're doing what none of you want to do, me included. So Tailored Family sees you. We respect you and we stand with you. The war on the badge. Now let's talk about law enforcement. For decades, police officers were respected, honored. Kids wanted to grow up and wear the badge. But that changed. And not because officers changed, but because the narrative did. We watched it happen in real time. It started with moments like President Obama saying, if I had a son, he'd look just like Trayvon. It deepened after the George Floyd incident, a tragedy that sparked outrage, then violence, then riots. And suddenly the people were trusted to protect us were painted as enemies. Since then, our officers have been spit on, assaulted, harassed, filmed with phones in their faces, mocked by people who never walked a shift in their boots, or probably haven't even held a real job, to be fair. They didn't change. Their heart didn't change. The job didn't get easier. The job just got more dangerous and less thankless. And now they're expected to protect charging stations, bike lanes, and electric cars from the very people who forced the bike lanes, electric cars on us. They wanted to require these things by law. They also screamed that police should be defunded, apparently so they themselves could break the law, since they seem to be the ones always doing it. It's hypocrisy. It's a circus. But you know what? They still show up. They still put on their uniform, check their weapon, and pray they make it home that night. They do it because they care. Because it's more than a job. It's actually a calling. Let's be real. Cops are just like the rest of us. Blue collar, tired, stressed, human. They're moms, dads, veterans, neighbors. And for far too long, they've been fighting a battle that never should have started. So if nobody else will say it, I will. We see you. We respect you. And we still back the blue. Loud, proud, and unapologetically. These are blue-collar warriors carrying too much in silence. And that's why I want to share this with you, because sometimes the truth hits harder in rhyme than in reason. Blue collar ain't just boots and tools. It's sirens, steel, and standing rules. First responders wear that title too. They bleed the same. They bleed true. The job breaks the body before the mind, yet somehow they still show up and be kind. They'll have a job. That's what they're called to do. Their work pays their bills, just like me and you. So treat folks right, no matter their rank, because karma don't mess when it's rolling like a tank. All human lives got value, and that is a fact. A life is a life, red, green, blue, or black. Don't let the media and suits in control turn neighbor on neighbor and swallow your soul. These jobs are heavy and they will make you crack, but somehow we still got each other's back. Because when you're in it and it's all on the line, the crew you work with becomes your bloodline. We stand with our brothers and sisters in blue. They do the work most couldn't do. And don't forget those behind the bricks, correction workers, tough and thick. They keep our streets and towns secure, a silent battle they endure. So to the ones who suit up day or night, who walk through hell to do what's right, we see you, we thank you, we've got your back through every shift, every storm, and every crack. You're not alone in this weight you bear. We stand beside you and we truly care. From our blue-collar hearts, straight and true, we love, respect, and support all of you. We don't talk enough about the dispatchers. And the truth is, most of them are women. They're moms, wives, daughters, soccer teams, snack coordinators, the glue of their families, and calm voice on the other end of the worst call you'll ever have to make. She sits behind a headset, not a vest, not a badge, not a patrol car. Just four walls and a phone that never stops ringing. She's the one who answers when the house is burning, when a child can't breathe, when an officer screams out, shots fired, and the line goes quiet. She doesn't get to run. She doesn't get to act. She just has to sit there and become the strength that that person needs in that moment. She walks people through CPR, listens to fathers cry, hears mothers break, and has to stay composed the entire time. Then the shift ends, and she drives home. Picks up the kids, bakes cupcakes for a birthday party, and smiles, like she didn't just absorb the world's worst moments. She remembers every scream, every silence, every time she wondered if the officer on the radio made it out alive. She still hears it, even in her dreams. So yeah, when we talk about first responders, don't forget about the ones behind the mic, because they take it all in and they take it all home. And when the world starts spinning and everyone's calling for help, you've got to wonder, when you're the one the whole world calls in a crisis, who do you call when you need the same? This is a poem I wrote for dispatchers, specifically a tribute to dispatchers. Dispatcher let me restart. Dispatcher is the true first responder. Without their guidance, the rest of the world would wander. They make the calls to get you help. They stay on the line when you're beside yourself. They're calm in the biggest storm, a voice of reason when fear takes form. They carry trauma without a face, holding the line with grit and grace. They don't wear gear or boots with steel, but every call they deeply feel. Unsung heroes behind the scenes. They guide the chaos through our screams. So here's to the voice, the steadiness, the fight, who stays on call through the darkest night. They're the blue-collar heart and soul, keeping the mission under control. Thank you to the dispatchers. Let me take a second to tell you why this matters to me so much, why this topic is a big part of my life. On April 11th, 2022, I decided to change my life. I quit drinking cold turkey. I cut carbs out, I cut sugar out, basically started eating stuff that tasted like cardboard. I dropped 100 pounds and almost lost my damn mind in the process. But I found something else in the fight: clarity, peace, and purpose. I grew up in a small town in Idaho, raised 6 kids, 3 of them my own, 3 stepkids. Now I've got grandkids and a legacy I want to build. I've stood in the dark wondering if I should keep going, but I'm still here. You want to know how? A simple saying. You can't always be motivated, so you better be dedicated. You can't always be motivated, so you better be dedicated. People ask me what it means, and here's what I tell them. It's the words I'd say to my future wife. Because I won't be able to give you motivation every single day to love me. Hell, I probably won't even give you motivation every day to like me. Life's hard. People get tired. Stress piles up. But if we're dedicated to honesty, to loyalty, to showing up when it's not easy, we can make it through anything. Motivation is a feeling. Dedication is a choice. And when the fire goes dim, when the world feels heavy, when we've got nothing left to give, we look at each other in the eye and say, I don't feel it today, but I'm still here because I'm dedicated. That's how relationships last. That's how businesses are built. That's how lives are turned around. Motivation might start the fire, but dedication keeps it burning. If you're struggling, please don't wait. National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, dial 988. Safe call now for first responders, 1-206-459-3020. Fire EMS Helpline, 1-888-731-FIRE. Copline Law Enforcement, 1-800-267-5463. All of those numbers are listed on the description in this live. If you need one, please get it and call. You're not weak for calling. You're strong enough to live another day. You matter. We'll have to make money, and I'm going to plug my business while we're here. Visit TaylorFamily.com or TaylorFamilyTools.com. Grab a shirt, some socks. Try the Taylor Family Range Day games. We're on Amazon, Walmart, and all the other socials. Every shirt you buy keeps this podcast alive, helps pay for my time. So I'm going to move into, this is a song that I wrote. It's more of a song than a poem. If anybody knows how to turn it into a song, write the music, Sing it. Please. Please do for me. It's called Blue Collar Blood. Why is it that the blue collar men so often come from broken homes again and again? Born into chaos, fists instead of hugs, where love gets replaced with shoulder shrugs. We grew up fast in a world gone cold. Learned things young that should never be told. No soft escape, no easy way. And yet we choose a job where our hands bleed every damn day. We got blue collar blood running deep through our veins. Taught to carry silence, taught to carry pain. Addicted to the fight, or bottle, or flame. We ain't broken, just tired of playing the game. In the dirt and the mud. Yeah, it's hard to be raised on blue collar blood. From alcoholic fathers to hands that hit, we're still paying the price for things we never even did. We carry the burdens that ain't even ours. We wear pain like old working scars. They said don't be weak, don't ever fold. But they never taught us how to hold a child's hand or speak with grace. Just grit your teeth and hide your face. We got blue collar blood running deep through our veins. Taught to carry silence, taught to carry pain. Addicted to the fight or a bottle or a flame. We ain't broken, just tired of playing the game. You see a man worn down, but you don't ask why. You just say he's hard, not that he wants to cry. But there's love buried deep in the dirt and the mud. Yeah, it's hard to be raised on blue collar blood. When we want our boys to grow up strong, but not carry all our wrong. Yeah, teach them to fight, to protect what's right. But why can't we also teach them that love can win a fight? Let them cry, let them dream, let them speak, let them be soft and still be sleek. We got blue collar blood, and it's thick with pride. We don't run, we stand, and we ride. We loved in silence, we've hurt alone. But we still built this country, stone by stone. So if you see us quiet, don't mistake it for cold. We're just carrying on what our fathers sold. This ain't weakness, it's our legacy flood. We were made, we were forged in blue collar blood. You see a man worn down, but you don't ask why. You just say he's hard. Not that he wants to cry. But there's love buried deep in the dirt and the mud. Yeah, it's hard to be raised by blue collar blood. That line right there, that's the truth in every one of us. We've talked tonight about firefighters, EMTs, police, dispatcher, corrections, border patrol, ICE. We've opened up a few wounds and honored some scars. We've said what needed to be said, and we're not stopping. Because tomorrow night, we're going to go even deeper. We're talking about warriors who wear our nation's flag, the military. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Space Force, and the Coast Guard. But not just the uniforms. We're digging into the invisible war that they keep fighting. PTSD, isolation, the return home, the silence. And yeah, we're going there. Because I will. We're going to look at the CIA, the ATF, Secret Service, maybe even the company, if you know what I'm talking about. They protect this nation in ways that most will never understand. And it's time we shine the light on the silent battles too. So don't miss that tomorrow night. Same time, same place tomorrow night. Hopefully I will be more organized. This podcast isn't just a show. It's my little movement. It's my little lifeline. And from us at Tailored Family, from our family to yours, thank you for riding with us. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I made it through it. I wanted to cough halfway through there, and I didn't. But I made it through it. Does anybody want to talk about anything that I said? Does anybody got any questions? If you guys don't, I'll get off, and I will just edit this and get it posted as a video so I can share it on all my social medias. Hopefully get more people over here on YouTube. I mean, I have 11,000 followers on Instagram. I have almost 11,000 on TikTok. Actually, I probably have about 15,000 on TikTok if you mix up my accounts. Followers on Clapper, Facebook. And I've only got 350 here on YouTube. But I think this is where I'm going to live doing these videos. I think it's where I can talk. even earlier as I was not really irritated, but thought it was fun because I could talk in a way I wanted to. Joe Adams said that my followers left because I'm being transphobic. Let me explain something. I won't be talking about trans. There will never be a day that I do a podcast based on trans people. It's not going to happen. I will only do things that I kind of understand, that I have a concept of. And trans people, I have none. It's got to be a mental health disorder more than anything. I don't know. I know it's called gender dysphoria. I understand that. I don't think that we should be pushing children to change from boy to girl. They were born one. Let them stay what they are. I don't care if they want to be gay, but let them stay a boy if they're a boy. Do it at that. Big old Bass, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you for the applause, everything. You were the first person to talk to me, so I appreciate that. All right, guys. With that, I think I'm going to sign off from YouTube, and I'm going to go edit videos, and hopefully tomorrow I will have my cameras working better. But for now, good night. God bless, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Back here again.